Good evening, everyone. This is Rodney Jordan with the Clever Communities in Action Virtual Village 2020 Read In. I am uh, going to start off by myself for a little bit tonight. My co-host, the wonderful Star Armstrong, is out on assignment at the moment, but we still are going to do what we always do: have a wonderful virtual village, have a wonderful happy Friday, and do some great reading and be a part of some culturally affirming literature. So let's get started with our theme song.
Look, mommy, community in action. Put on my little sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Put on my little sound of that. Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Learning, exploring about history, you see. Look, mommy, a little sound of that. We confident, we practice and develop fluency. Look, daddy, a little sound of that. Families, they bonding, they representing me. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Look, I'm here, a little sound of that. Nice, I see a lot of sound of that. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit. Look, mommy, community in action. Well, on my little sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, on my little sound of that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look, granny, a little sound of that.
All right, so that was our wonderful theme song put together by Portia and Peyton. So nice once again to kick off with that. So you are going to have to help me tonight. So Wednesday night, Star was holding things down by herself. She had the wonderful village influencers that we welcomed and introduced to you all to the Literacy Gang. 6 wonderful young people. But tonight, right now, it's just me. So I am going to be hosting. I'm going to be working in the back office. I'm going to be bringing on our readers, and I'm going to be engaging with you. So you all going to have to give me some feedback because this is my first time kind of doing this. I don't know if you all know it or not, but Star was the one that dragged me into. I don't mean drag. I shouldn't say that. No, Star is the one that it convinced me to start doing some of this live activity and broadcasting live. And I only did that because, as she brought forward, and as we've talked about many times, came up and said, what are we going to do to make sure that we can provide some support for our children, provide some support for our family during this pandemic to make sure that our children stayed engaged in some positive activity, and also that our families could gather around the computer screen or around the phone or whatever device that they could use to connect to the internet to come and be a part of some wonderful culturally affirming literature, some focus on African-American authors and the work that they're doing, being able to engage with others in the community, and really just make sure that we have learning on our minds, but also just making sure that we stay healthy and connected and make sure we aren't isolated as we work through this pandemic. So, as you all know, we come here, we do some reading, and one of the books that I have read over time is this book, Kinky, Curly, Fuzzy, Wavy. And I have shared with those of you that have tuned in that there's also a YouTube version or a YouTube song that accompanies Kinky, Curly, Fuzzy, Wavy. So finally, I have the opportunity tonight, since I have the whole stage to myself, to share with you that Kinky, Curly, Fuzzy, Wavy little hip hop track. So I'm going to share that with you. So give me one moment as I share my screen with you. I think I am doing this correctly. Let's see. I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to choose the share. And I believe we are good to go. And hopefully you all can see this.
kinky curly fuzzy wavy, kinky curly fuzzy wavy, kinky curly fuzzy wavy, kinky curly fuzzy wavy, kinky curly fuzzy wavy. Wash it, dry it, tease it, mist it, pick it, flick it, comb it, twist it, fluff it, puff it, brush it, braid it, curl it, twirl it, scrunch it, straighten it, tie it, pull it, pony bun, skip it, flip it, have it fun. I'm about to get it done, like my curls, I keep sprung. When mama rap it, I'ma cause a racket. Some may call it nappy, I'ma keep it happy. Moisturized, energized, looking fly, no surprise. I'm a queen in his eyes. Take my crown, don't even try. Kinky curly fuzzy wavy, 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 kinky curly fuzzy wavy. Wash it, dry it, tease it, mist it, pick it, flick it, comb it, twist it, fluff it, puff it, brush it, braid it, curl it, twirl it, scrunch it, straighten it, tie it, pull it, pony bun, skip it, flip it, have it fun. I'm about to get it done, like my curls, I keep sprung. I'm a newbie, discount is my duty. Someone being rude, twirl it on them cutie. Don't waste your time, girl, you a dime. I got already made you fine. Gravity could be defied. Pull us down, don't even try. Kinky curly fuzzy wavy, 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 kinky curly fuzzy wavy. Wash it, dry it, tease it, mist it, pick it, flick it, comb it, twist it, fluff it, puff it, brush it, braid it, curl it, twirl it, scrunch it, straighten it, tie it, pull it, pony bun, skip it, flip it, have it fun. I'm about to get it done, like my curls, I keep sprung. Maintaining this crown, takes work, but I'm down. I'm keeping it clean, for queens just like me. Maintaining this crown, takes work, but I'm down. I'm keeping it clean, for queens just like me. Queens just like me, 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 queens just like me. Kinky curly fuzzy wavy, 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 kinky curly.
All right. So again, that was hold on. I gotta cut this off. There you go. So that was Kinky Curly Fuzzy Wavy. Again, this is a book. I've read the book to you. If you haven't had a chance, so just as you just saw the video, you can go through the book. This book is the author and illustrator is someone who is local here to Norfolk, Virginia, Demia Lindsay Mitchell. Her co-author is Roberta Howman Walters. But once again, so not only can you go to Amazon and get the book, you can also go to YouTube and get that video. And for Read Across America, you know, I had the opportunity to go to some different schools and read that book, and a couple of them also had a chance to share that. I actually had it on a little beatbox so they could listen to it. And the children in the classroom, they just got up and started dancing, reading the book to them. The girls in the classroom definitely identified with the different styles, and so it's a great book. I've been teasing you all about it for some time in terms of that video, so I'm glad I had a chance to share it with you tonight. So I have a special guest, someone who I have known for a very long time, great media leader, personality. Many of you all have been around in Hampton Roads for years, know her for all the great information that she has brought to our community for years. And she is now a part of the blazing Hot 91.1 morning show. And so as part of our new partnership that we have with WNSB Hot 91, we're going to be bringing on various on-air personalities. Monday through Thursday, as part of this virtual village, we are streaming to the Hot 91 Facebook page. But on Friday nights, they have their own little things that they're doing. So we don't do Friday nights, but we do Monday through Thursday. So I am bringing on my good friend, longtime friend, colleague, Cheryl Wilkerson. Cheryl, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you all doing?
Oh man, you got great sound. You know, it's so nice to hear that radio voice of yours.
I'll pay you later, Rodney.
So Cheryl, we have known each other a very long time, and it almost feels like uh, the shoes are on the other foot. You know, I used to come in and you would be hosting your show on the line with Cheryl Wilkerson, and
Yep.
every now and then I would come in and be a guest, or if there was always somebody that we were bringing into town. I remember we had Thomas Shapiro talking about black wealth and white wealth and the hidden cost of being African American. Yep. I think we brought Angela Blackwell.
Yes.
And from Policy Link and many others over the years. And then, of course, you were holding down not only on the old 102.9, but also WHOV and doing some things in Richmond. And now you're with Hot 91. So tell me a little bit about it.
Oh, Rodney, you put me on the spot. Okay.
So you're the professional, so you can handle it.
No, I interview people. I'm not interviewed. It's a big difference. So I want everybody to listen in the morning to Blazing Hot 91 because we try to bring the news and information, but we also bring you good music, and we really focus on local artists. There are local artists on the air all the time, and they're doing great things. And I don't think there's anywhere else in Hampton Roads where you can go and continuously hear people in the area and their music. So I just would like everybody to join us in the morning if they can.
So Hot 91 on the great campus.
Blazing Hot 91.
I'm sorry. Blazing Hot 91.
There you go. Got to get the B in there.
on the great campus of Norfolk State University, where you are an alumnus, correct?
Yes, that's it. Mass Communications, 19.
So one of the things that we will have Cheryl up here every now and then as part of our partnership, and you'll be reading with us.
Yes.
But this is Cheryl's first introduction. So I told Cheryl, this is what I want you to do. Come on. And I'm going to show you how we do this thing. I also wanted to bring her on since Star wasn't here. I knew if I had Cheryl here, I'd have a backup.
Okay. Now the truth.
It's good.
That was smart. Yeah.
But I'm going to bring on for a moment one of our leaders of the literacy gang, and that's Miss Danelle. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hi, everybody. Hey, all Rodney. Right, hi,
Cheryl. So Cheryl, Danelle, as we've been doing this over time, you saw me with the book I had in my hand, and normally what we would do is we would come on, the reader would have a book, they would come and read a book. They could be an individual. Oftentimes we have mothers and sons and grandmothers and families reading, and we share that. And then along came Miss Danelle, and she decided she would introduce us to the e-reader, where you're able to use a e-reader and also read from that and also be a part of the broadcast. So what you're going to be observing and what the literacy gang out there is going to be observing, I'm going to turn things over to Miss Danelle, and she's going to share with us what she's going to be reading tonight. And then we will turn the floor over to her, and you and I will go into the green room, and we will share. We will watch Miss Danelle do her thing, and the literacy gang will encourage her and engage her. So Danelle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Rodney. Doing well. Excited about my book tonight.
Yeah, we missed you.
I know I've been busy doing some other things, but I've missed you guys too. But I had a chance to chime in last night. I was so impressed. I got a chance to see the commercial for the first time. So I hear about lots of great things happening. We've got some young folks on board. So really excited about, this wonderful turn of events for CCIA. So.
Yeah. So for those of you who are joining in and wondering where the great, beautiful, entertaining Star Armstrong is, she is on assignment, and I am holding the fort down for her. She may try to join us before we sign off, but in the meantime, you're going to get to have me and Cheryl and Danelle tonight, and we'll see if others may join us along the way. But at this point, Danelle, I'm going to Did you mention what the book was?
I'm actually going to be reading Simone Visits the Museum by Dr. Kelsey Brackmort.
Okay.
Great book. It's really interesting. I hope everybody enjoys it tonight.
All right. So Cheryl and I will drop off the screen and we'll turn things over to you.
Okay. Well, let me get ready to share my screen here.
Okay. And I will see if I am as able as Star is in supporting you in this. So,
Okay.
so
Awesome. I have shared my screen, so I'm ready whenever you're ready.
All right. I'm going to.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. Awesome. There we are. Okay. So tonight I am reading, oops, let me make sure I start at the right page here. I am reading Simone Visits the Museum by Dr. Kelsey Brackmort, illustrated by Takia Marie. I think I said her name the right way. Okay. So let me get to my first page here. In loving memory of my grandmother, Marceline Brackmort. Early on a Saturday morning, Simone ran into her parents' bedroom and hopped into bed to snuggle with her mother. "Good morning, my beautiful Simone," her mother said, smiling. "Morning, Mommy," replied Simone. Her mother kissed Simone on the forehead. "It looks like today will be a beautiful day. Once you and your brother Scott finish breakfast, we will complete our chores and let's go explore our city." "Okay," Simone exclaimed. At breakfast, Simone and her older brother Scott sat down to eat. "Thank you, Mommy, for making my favorite oatmeal with cinnamon, raisins, and cranberries." "Yum, it's so good," Simone said. Scott gulped down some orange juice and asked, "Can I add gummy bears to my oatmeal?" "Ew, yuck," Simone said. Their mother looked at both of them and said, "Scott, like I told you before, gummy bears are not for oatmeal. Absolutely not. And Simone, you are welcome." When they were done eating, their mother cleared the dishes from the table. "What chores do you want to do this morning?" she asked. "I want to feed Sophie. I can separate my dirty clothes so you can wash them, and I'll straighten up my bedroom," Simone replied cheerfully. Scott sighed. "I'll wash the dishes and empty the trash can." "Scott, straighten your room up as well, and both of you, please work quietly so Daddy can sleep a little longer," said their mother. Once she finished cleaning her bedroom, Simone joined Scott in the hallway. He had just come back from taking out the trash. "I'm done. Can we go explore now?" Simone yelled. Their mother walked toward them from the kitchen and replied, "Yes, we are going to take the bus to the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, and then we can have a light lunch." Scott shrugged. "I really want to work on my robot. Is it okay if I stay here with Daddy?" "Sure," their mom said. "Yes, just me and Mommy," Shouted Simone, sorry. "Can I wear my red sneakers and my leggings and the new shades Daddy bought me?" "Of course. Please go get dressed," said her mother. When they arrived at the National Mall, Simone and her mother walked along the gravel pathway towards the museum. They noticed lots of people having a good time. Some people jogged, some took pictures, and some played frisbee. They finally got to the museum and stood outside. Simone squealed, "Oh, Mommy, this building is huge." "I agree. It is enormous. We'll probably need a museum map to help us navigate the collections and exhibitions," said her mother. "Now, do you remember how we behave in a museum?" "Yes, yes, yes, yes. Stay near you at all times, lower my voice when speaking, greet the workers, and keep my hands to myself." Simone tried to whisper, but she was too excited, and her words came out loudly. "Okay, let's go enjoy," said her mother, smiling. Simone and her mother entered the museum and arrived at the welcome desk just in time to take part in a guided tour. Afterwards, they browsed the gift shop. Simone and her mother didn't get to see every exhibit, but what they saw reflected the resilience and strength of African Americans. As they started to leave the museum, Simone gasped just before they got to the door. "Oh no, where are my shades? They're my favorite shades. Where did they go?" "Don't worry," said her mother as she put her hand on Simone's shoulder. "I'm sure we can find them. Let's ask about a lost and found, and if we need to, we can trace some of our steps." Simone and her mother walked back to the welcome desk when they were suddenly stopped by a smiling docent. He held in his hand her shiny glasses. "Are these your shades?" he asked, looking at Simone. "Yes, thank you so much. How did you know they were mine?" Simone asked. "I saw them on top of your head when you walked into the museum. They're pretty shades and they sparkle. A visitor found them lying on a bench and gave them to me to take to the lost and found. Have a great day, and please come visit the museum again." "I will," Simone said happily as she put on her shades. When they were outside, Simone skipped ahead. She didn't go far before she looked back at her mother. "That was fun, Mommy. I learned so much. When you explained to me that families were separated during slavery, I started to miss Daddy and Scott. I want to know more. When can we come back?" "I learned a lot too. We will come back soon, and we can bring your daddy and brother next time." Simone exhaled deeply. "I guess that'd be okay." She loved Daddy and Scott, but she also really liked her time alone with Mommy. "Are you hungry, Simone? I'm starving and might faint if I don't eat something soon. Let's find some food." Simone laughed and said, "Oh, Mommy, sometimes you are such a drama queen." Her mother gave her a soft but stern look. "Simone?" Simone straightened up and said, "I'm just kidding." They found a cafe not far from the museum and sat outside. Simone asked, "Mommy, what is the phrase you use when we eat outside?" Her mother put down her sweet tea. "Al fresco dining." Simone took a bite of her grilled cheese sandwich. "I like al fresco dining. There are so many cool people and unusual things going on as we eat." Her mother poured dressing over her salad. "It's fine to look, but don't you dare stare. After we finish our lunch, we can meet your daddy and Scott at Anacostia Park and share what we saw today." Simone and her mother took the bus to the park. As they walked through the park, they saw families grilling vegetables and hamburgers. They also saw young men playing soccer and an all-female rowing club practicing on the Anacostia River. "Look, there's Daddy and Scott. This day just keeps getting better. Um, just keeps getting better," cried Simone. Her mother wrapped her arms around Simone's shoulders, kissed her on top of her head, and said, "I'm glad we could spend this time together." Simone looked up at her mother and said, "Me too, Mommy." And that's the end of my story, guys. So again, the name of the book is Simone Visits the Museum. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go back to the beginning here and stop sharing my screen. I think I did it the right way. Okay. You guys there, Rodney?
I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
It's all right. It's good. It's okay.
No, it was great. I was trying to bring up a link to the National African American
Oh,
Museum.
wow. That would have been awesome.
Maybe,
Yes.
maybe one of the villagers out there can post the link to it.
Yes.
You know,
in the
on the comments section,
Yeah.
because you know, like Bridget said, you know, that she loved the book and she felt like Simone when
she
went.
went. Oh, cool.
And of course, so my brother lives in Washington, D.C., and I used to live up in that area.
Yep.
So I'm also familiar with Anacostia Park.
I'm a Washingtonian myself.
okay,
It's home.
okay.
So that's one other reason why I like this book.
So
Yeah.
doing that and You know, things. If you stay over in Southeast, you can go and visit the Frederick Douglass home, and
You sure can. It's right
yeah.
there in Anacostia. Yep, right near the
Absolutely.
river.
So it's a great book, and you
Mm-hmm.
brought back memories, and you all have to make sure that you go there. When I took my
Absolutely.
daughters, and then I went with my brother and my nieces, you know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has to make sure that they go
Mm-hmm.
to the mothership,
Yes.
the P-Funk mothership,
It does look like that, doesn't
and
it?
you must
P-Funk.
go through the P-Funk, and you
Yes.
must bow.
You want to get
You
funked
must
up.
bow. That's right. You must bow and give homage to the great Dr. Funkenstein.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
So
They
let me
do pay homage in the museum. They pay homage to him.
absolutely. So
They
Cheryl,
definitely do.
so
Yes.
Cheryl, you see how that went?
That was wonderful. And that was a great book. Thank you, Danelle, for that.
Awesome.
That was
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah. So
And I love the museum as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I know that some folks, like Miss Tiffany says, she's never been there before.
Ooh.
Everybody,
Oh,
I know
gotta
right now.
go.
Yeah, I know right now it's closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but
Mm-hmm.
going into the museum, going down into the basement,
Mm-hmm.
starting
Yes.
there,
Mm-hmm.
learning about the middle passage
Yep.
and what it is. There are multiple levels in the museum,
Mm-hmm.
and you go up to each level. So you start off down in I call it the basement,
Mm-hmm.
and where where you can encounter the middle passage
Mm-hmm.
and learn about the great strengths of enslaved Africans,
Mm-hmm.
learn about the revolts, and then you come up a level, and there's a different period in time,
Yep.
Yeah.
all the way up to today. But
Mm-hmm.
before I go on with that, let me see what I have here. Oh,
Hey y'all.
who's on the screen?
How are y'all doing?
Look who's on the
Good.
screen.
Good.
Now, Star, please tell me somebody else is driving.
Oh
I'm in
yeah.
the passenger. I'm in the passenger seat
Okay.
right now.
Okay, all right.
Look, I don't even like texting and driving, let alone driving and being on a video, a live stream.
So Star Armstrong meets Cheryl Wilkinson from Blazing Hot Morning
Hi,
Show.
Cheryl.
How you doing, Star?
I
Thank you.
am well. I'm good now. I just came off an adventure, but I'm good now.
So see now this is my kind of party. See now I feel at home. So
Okay.
So Star, you want to talk to us a little bit about what you're up to?
Ooh, Lord, y'all. So, y'all know we have our virtual village influencers, right? They are interns for the program that we have going on now. And part of their internship is they were to receive Chromebooks. And we did not think about the fact that during a pandemic, Chromebooks are like really hard to find. So we've been stalking them online, trying to find them, and finally the only ones I found that could get here in a decent amount of time were in Fairfax, Virginia. So,
oh wow.
and then the place was like, because we needed 6. And so the place was like, well, yeah, we have enough of them in stock. And I was like, okay, cool. So I proceeded to start driving up here, but you can only communicate with them through text message. So I'm halfway up here and they text me and say, oh no, actually you can only get 1 per customer.
Oh no.
So I was like, let me tell you what's not gonna happen. These Black children are getting ready to have these Chromebooks. Oh yes, they are. Oh yes, they are. And where are the Chromebooks? It's 6 Chromebooks in the trunk back there.
Hey, mission accomplished. Yes, Star.
So
my GPS gave out on me on the way up here. Like all the crazy things happened, but it's 6 Chromebooks in the trunk.
So Star calls me about 4 something, and as soon as I pick up the phone, I hear all this noise in the background, and she had the window down, and she said, "Can you send out the link for the show tonight?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm like, "Where are you? What's all that noise?" She said, "Oh, I'm just coming through the tunnel." I'm like, "Where are you going?" She said, I'm headed to Fairfax. I'm headed to Fairfax. And it's like, Fairfax for what? She said, I found these Chromebooks and I'm going to go get these Chromebooks. And then she told me about the story about, finding online that they had 6 or 7 in stock. And then they came back and said they didn't have them. And so we had a little plan that if things didn't go right, we were going to have all these villagers to be sending text messages to that store to let them know they were going to make sure she came back with those Chromebooks.
The killer bees were ready to swarm. Listen, y'all, I was ready because I was like, I remained calm the whole time. But I said, listen, if they tell me no, really, I was like, they're not going to tell me no. But if they do.
So if anybody wants to have any idea of the level of dedication and commitment that STAR has shown through Clever Communities in Action to make sure that our young people get exposed to the literature and the culturally affirming literature and that African-American authors get served. But this particular dedication to young people is what it has been like all throughout this pandemic. So mind you now, not only did she get in her car tonight to drive to Fairfax, and I guess, are you on your way back?
No, not yet. I'm about to eat.
Oh, well, good.
Okay.
I hope you decide not to come back, but if you come back, she has picked up at the last minute, driven through the tunnel, gone all the way to Fairfax, found these Chromebooks, argued with whoever she argued with, put them in the backseat of her car, and is making her way back and called in, and made sure that she came in to be a part of the virtual village tonight. So
that's dedication.
That's why her name is Star.
That's right. That's right.
So Star, it's so interesting being up here with the three of you. So that type of dedication is what I have known from Cheryl forever. And then having to come met Miss Danelle and talking to her, I know she has that type of dedication too. And that's what this literacy gang is all about. And this is what, in my view, makes the difference for our young people and for our families. When we always talk about it takes a village, well, we have really shown this virtual village is about making sure that our children are served. So I don't even know what to say after that.
It's all for the kids. It's all for the kids, Star.
Yeah, I feel good. And I just want to say that I didn't have to argue with anyone. When I came in there, it was basically like, whatever kind of food you like, whatever kind of computer you like. He was so I didn't even have to, all that I had on reserve, I didn't even have to use it. It just went real smoothly.
When I embellish the story, you're supposed to let me embellish the story.
No, because I want people to know that the way it was made, that I came in there in my aura and the look on my face, they were like, we're going to get this lady these Chromebooks.
So what kind of social distancing apparatus did they have inside of the store? Did they have anything?
They did. They had the plexiglass. And so up here, pretty much like everybody is adhering to the mask wearing and all of that. Whereas at home, it's kind of, iffy. You may see some, you may not. But everybody up here is really adhering to it. So that was different seeing that up here. And they had the plexiglass. They had the mask. They had some in there if you needed them. And they had the spray. So they're really, and also, I had to wait, like you have to wait in a line out there and then you scan your phone and they'll text you when you can come in. So,
really? Oh, wow. They're organized. Okay.
Yeah. Because only so many people in the store at a certain time.
Right. But see, I didn't have to go around the store. I just walked in and they gave me
because she's Star. This is Miss Star. She's not waiting in line for anybody. She's a woman on a mission for the children.
I was on a mission. I know that these young Black children were going to get these books. But that's all. If I didn't know anything else, I knew that. I knew that.
Well, it just goes to show, like we always talk about, if you claim certain things and you're about that passion and the spirit is there, nothing will get in your way and nothing will stop it.
Amen.
Yeah. So back to Cheryl for a minute. So Star.
Well, wait a minute, Rodney. I'm sorry, you guys. I love y'all. I just wanted to say hi. I gotta
Okay.
eat. I'm on an empty tank, like my stomach and my brain. So I just wanted to speak to everybody. Love y'all. So glad to see you. So glad to have you a part of this with us, Cheryl and Literacy Gang, Janelle, the initiator, Rodney. Love y'all.
Portia,
And
Miss Tiffany, everybody's up here.
Everybody's
everybody,
here.
the whole Portia, Peyton,
Tanaya.
Tiffany,
Mm-hmm.
Shania, love all of you guys. Can't wait to see y'all again on Monday. I'm about to feed my face, so love y'all.
Be safe.
Be safe. See you
for joining
soon, sis.
All right. So that was pretty amazing. So
Yeah, it was.
funny when often when we end up ending the show, we have that same conversation where both of us have ended up working so much during the day we didn't even think about eating, and then as soon as the show is over, we try to go and do that. So it was,
Ravenous, huh?
yeah, but it is. I can't tell you how impressed I was when she called me to say that she was on her way, because we've been working as part of this program. As many of you all know, we established the Virtual Village 2020. We were able to get some support, and with the Truist Foundation, with Mark Johnson from Truist Bank, we've established partnerships with the Blazing Hot Morning Show and Hot 91. And all of this has been about, with the influencers, when we wrote the grant, we intentionally wrote in there the opportunity for these young people, these high school students, to come in, as many of you all heard Wednesday night, to get some skills, to get some workplace readiness skills, to understand about creativity, working in, being collaborative, all the things that we say, at least I know in Virginia, being a profile of a graduate, and sometimes people refer to as soft skills. So we know about the, making sure our students are literate, making sure they have math skills. But Danelle, as you know, as somebody who has worked in industry, and you too, Cheryl, that oftentimes you have individuals, they have all the book smarts, but they don't know how to work in teams. They don't know how to be creative. They don't show up on time. And so employers are saying over and over and over again that they can teach the content.
Right.
What they need are students and individuals and graduates who understand these soft skills. So we wrote into our program this intent, and we wanted to make sure that we could have that all of our influencers were connected. And this was something that not only they could do for us right now as part of the village, but something that they could take with them wherever they decide to go.
Absolutely.
And that's why I don't think they should be called soft skills, because they are so important. They need to be called hard skills.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Danelle, did you have another reading offering you wanted to share?
I do. Hold on, let me gear up here. I've got
so Cheryl, while Ms. Danelle is doing that, so this is what we do. We've been doing this now. This is the close of the 8th week.
8th week.
We start the 9th week next week, Monday through Friday. We are here at 7 o'clock. We have individuals like Ms. Danelle that come on and read. We have 10-year-olds and 4-year-olds and 17-year-olds and grandparents. We've had folks from Michigan who have Black Panthers in their family. We've had authors from right here in the 757. So, STAR has this vast network, and as this has grown, and one of the key things about this is that the more that individuals and villagers share this with others, more folks come in and be a part of this. And so that's why we're always encouraging people to share this. This is why we wanted to do the partnership with Hot 91, Blazing Hot 91. And because we're really just trying to make sure that we are exposing more and more individuals to this great work, and also inviting them to come be a part of our literacy gang.
Well, I, for one, am so glad to be involved and to be with you all. So thank you for that. And the radio station is as well. Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. It's for the community. So we love that.
Well, you all have been great because I think when it first got started, you called me up and I did a little
Yeah.
promo, and that's when we were just really kicking things off. And then you all followed up and got Star involved, and now we've been doing more interviews and
Right. I
you
think you
all
have one
coming on.
coming up Monday.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
think so. One coming up
Mhm.
Monday, and then we hope to get you and other on-air personalities to come up here and be a part of the reading and part of the literacy gang as well.
We are going to do that. All for my babies. Anything for my babies. And
Yep.
everybody's child is my baby. So
I,
it's all
you
good.
Aw.
you said that for as long as I've known you. So, Mr. Bell, you ready for us?
I am ready. I've got
Okay.
my other book up, so let
Okay.
me get ready to go ahead and I'm going to read another book called Don't You Know You Are Beautiful Just the Way You Are by G.A. Seeley. And I'm not sure if anybody's read that one already, but it's a quick, easy little book to build self-esteem. So,
All right. So let us get
okay.
out your way, and we
All right.
will do our thing once
Let
again.
me go ahead and share my screen here.
Excellent.
All right. Let me
Okay.
know if you can see
Yep,
that.
I see it.
You
I'm
see
gonna
it? Okay.
scroll out.
Awesome.
Gonna add your book in,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take myself out.
Okie doke. All right. So we're ready to rock and roll here. So the name of the story again is Don't You Know You Are Beautiful Just the Way You Are by G.A. Seeley. Let me get to my first page here. In a sad voice, Destiny said, Mommy, I don't like the way I look. I want to look like the girls in my class and the models in my book. Mommy replied, Sweetheart, why would you say such a thing, my little shining star? Don't you know you are beautiful just the way you are? Destiny said, I don't like my flat, round nose. I wish it was pointy and straight, like my friend Rose. Mommy gently held Destiny's face. Don't be silly. You have such a cute button nose that is perfectly suited for your beautiful face. If you had any other nose, it would not be simply out of place. It would be simply out of place, my little shining star. Don't you know you are beautiful just the way you are? Destiny pointed to the TV as she sighed. I wish I looked like that girl, Amber from my favorite TV show. Mommy hugged and kissed Destiny. You are more beautiful than you even know. You are smart and funny, and you are as sweet as honey. You are kind and caring, compassionate and sharing. Your beauty starts from within and flows far deeper than your face, hair, or skin. My little shining star, don't you know you are beautiful just the way you are? Destiny then touched her hair. I don't like my thick hair. I wish it was long, straight, and flowing like my friend Claire's. Destiny, you have a gorgeous head of hair. Your hair is so strong and healthy and can be styled in so many ways. You can wear your hair in locks, buns, as well as braids. Your thick, beautiful hair is a blessing, my little shining star. Don't you know you are beautiful just the way you are? Mommy, what you are saying may be true, but my lips are too big and I wish they were smaller too. Mommy said, why in the world would you want to? Don't you know that some women in magazines would love to have lips just like you? So don't look in those magazines for your image of beauty because God created you perfect, my little cutie. From your curly hair to your exquisite round nose, from your caramel skin that in the sun starts to glow, from your vibrant brown eyes and full pink lips, from your beautiful brown arms and legs attached to your beautiful brown hips. Look at your aunties, grandmas, and your cousins. Destiny, you are surrounded by beautiful women by the dozens. Destiny smiled. Mommy, that's true because you are beautiful. So I must be beautiful because I look just like you. I am beautiful inside and out. You are so beautiful, it makes me want to shout. I am beautiful, even though I am not a TV star. Mommy embraced Destiny. My little shining star, you are beautiful just the way you are. And that's the end of my little story here. Don't you know you are beautiful just the way you are?
That
Okay.
that was great.
That is so
Awesome.
true.
It is true. So many young girls are struggling with self-image on a daily basis. I remember a time, I'm sure where you guys do too, where you didn't see a whole lot of us on television. And now we're all over the place, but we need to be more cognizant of the images that are projected because this is what our young girls see. And
Mhm.
so when you have celebrities that are even altering their bodies, um, I think it confuses our girls and young women. So I know a lot of celebrities don't think that they have a responsibility to watch what they put out into the world, into
But
the
they do.
universe, but they do. So, I just wish that more of them would understand that because it's so important, not just for little girls, but for little boys as well. So,
Yeah, no, I that was it's just interesting. One of the recurring themes and a lot of the books that have been read here over these 8 weeks have dealt with this issue. Either it's been about
mhm.
hair, it's been
Yep,
about
Yeah.
skin color, it's been about self image,
absolutely.
which in one sense is I think Star and I were talking about this one day. So I appreciate the fact that we have so many books that are out there now that are
Mhm,
addressing this topic and that our children can read and that we can read to our children and
mhm.
talk about these topics. Um, but at the same time, generation after generation, decade after decade, in 2020, and we still find
Yeah,
ourselves dealing with some of these
yeah.
things issues. You know, you read the book earlier about the National African American Museum, and when
Mhm.
you walk through the museum, that's all throughout the museum talking about
Yes.
the impact of colorism and
Mhm.
how Black women were viewed, and
Yep.
whether it was from uh, being viewed as vessels for individuals to just produce uh,
Mhm.
human beings,
Mhm.
to even throughout you mentioned earlier in terms of images on TV.
Right.
But but
Mhm.
back during when we were enslaved and they had Black women with the bonnets on their heads and trying
Mhm.
to make sure because there was concern about um, them competing, if you will,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
attention on the plantation. And
Mhm.
so all this
Yep.
ties it's really throughout this 400-year sojourn here
Mhm.
in America. It has not been that long that we've been
No.
uplifting our beauty and really claiming it. And I put on the banner, being able to say it loud.
Mhm.
But that matters even to this very day.
Absolutely. It does. I've worked with girls a lot and it's, with across the state of Virginia and them understanding the power that they have, that they are beautiful, that they're smart, that they're talented. We definitely try to make sure that we project that message. I just really, um, as a matter of fact, Rodney, Destiny, and I had a conversation about colorism.
Mhm.
You know, it's still prevalent.
It
Again, like
is.
I said, 2020, and we're still talking about this,
It
you
is.
know, and sometimes you wonder, you know, when are we going to get past that? But it's still there. I don't know if it's ever going to go away, you know, but I just really sympathize with our youth because, again, going back to TV, there are certain images that are projected on television that are extremely harmful.
Yeah. Well, you know,
You
I have two daughters, and one of my daughters in particular, I can remember they're both gorgeous.
know. Hmm.
But as they were coming up, at least one of my daughters, as she was coming up through school and going to middle school, so she has real full lips.
Hmm.
And I can remember we would have conversations just like the little girl in the book. And I remember I went and I made this collage because I would always tell her, I was like, everybody in the world is trying to get lips like you. They are
Amen.
doing injections, all the lipstick,
Yes.
all of that is designed around to
Hmm.
take thin lips and to try to make them look full and luscious. And you don't need any of that stuff.
It's
So
amazing.
literally
Hmm.
one day I just went online and I downloaded all these images of
Hmm.
women with thick lips. I remember I had Kerry Washington up there and
Oh yeah.
so many others, and I made this collage and I put her in the center of it. And
Hmm.
I told her to hang it in her room because I
I
wanted her to
love
be
that.
constantly
Yeah,
reminded that what you have is the image of beauty.
that's
And
right.
so you just, oftentimes we just have to learn to appreciate it inside and for ourselves. So
That is
that's
so
very
true.
important.
I
Yeah.
love that you did that project for her, though. That's actually something good, a good tip for parents out there to maybe do something similar for their girls or even for their young men. You know, to let them know you're beautiful just the way you are. I mean, if these young people understood how much money they
Yeah.
spend
That's
Yeah.
true.
and how much money these plastic surgeons
Yeah,
make.
they're like the highest paid behind any.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cheryl. Yes, just trying to make them look like us. They want these lips. They
Yes.
want these hips. And they want that thing that I got following me. Okay. Every time I look around, I'm like, who is that following me?
All right, y'all gonna
But
embarrass
trust me,
me.
they're paying thousands of dollars to make sure that they get that. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but the image that we think, you know, our lips are too full, our hips are too wide, you know, our backsides are too plump, you
Our hair
know,
was too
whatever.
kinky. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, our hair is too kinky, you know, and then you got people spending goo gobs of money to look just like you. So it's really important for us to make sure that we encourage our young people to embrace their beauty.
Yeah. So this has actually been a great evening, and I appreciate you, Danelle, coming in and kind of
Always.
standing in for Miss Star and,
Mhm.
No
and Cheryl.
problem.
And Cheryl, I'm glad that you had this opportunity to come in. And when we first started this, you were one of the first ones that signed up to read, and
Yeah.
we could never get the timing right. So I was glad that you
Awesome.
were available and able to come up tonight. And so Danelle, well, Cheryl hasn't read yet, so
Okay.
you can't initiate her yet. But
Okay.
Cheryl, you saw the comment, so you have been welcomed to the
Yes.
Lucy Gang.
I feel
But
that
then,
way.
Yes.
after you read, there's an initiation that you will go through.
Yes, there
Uh-oh.
And
is.
Miss Danelle leads that initiation. So I'm going to save that to next week or whenever it is that we're able to schedule that reading. I can't be unfair to all the others who have been initiated and had to go through all the trials and pledging and everything that they
Yes,
had to
they
go
had to go through their initiation.
You are. I'm frightened now. I don't know what in the world.
through. But I am happy. Anything else, Cheryl? You just wanted to say?
No,
Or
I just want to say thank you, and I'm excited, and just thank you all for letting me be a part of the village. That's it.
yeah. And so
Awesome.
to all of the villagers out there, thank you all again for hanging with us and being consistent and bringing your children on and just sharing this great love and this great village. Next week, we have our teen influencers, so they are working real hard on their takeover night on Wednesday, and and we're just going to continue with all the great partnerships and the great work. We'll be going into our 9th week, and so just this week, as we've had more new things that we've introduced, I'm sure there'll be other things that we'll introduce as we go forward. But the main thing is we just want you all to be safe. We want you all to find time to relax and ease your stress of being inside. You know, of course, we encourage you to get your exercise in, but make sure you keep your mask on, make sure you do your social distancing. Some communities, as you know, are being hit very hard by this pandemic. And so we have to be careful, not only to make sure that we are looking out for each other, but that we are not exposing others unnecessarily to this crazy virus that is just wreaking havoc across our country, and in particularly in communities of color. So,
Rodney, if I may, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day, moms.
Good catch. You and Pastor Bates, y'all caught that.
Yes.
So I'm so thankful that you.
Cheryl's on her job.
Yes, I would have heard that one. So that's going to be it for tonight. We're going to sign off in a little bit and bring on our theme song and go out on that. And don't forget to check out the book Kinky Curly Fuzzy Wavy, and go on YouTube and check them out as well. And as we mentioned, once these things settle down and we can start traveling again, I hope everybody gets the opportunity to go and visit the National African American Museum up on the mall. It is important. It is a great pilgrimage. And also make sure you check out the Frederick Douglass Home and so many other great history tours in Washington, D.C. that have African heritage behind them, that you can try to take advantage of that as well. So with that, we hope that, we know that Ms. Starr will make her way back after she gets herself fed and makes her way back safely to Hampton Roads. And we just look forward to seeing her again on Monday. Anybody would like to be a village reader, if you go on the Cover Communities in Action Facebook page, you'll find the Sign Up Genius there where you can pin at the top, and you too can come up here and be a part of our great literacy gang. And Miss Tiffany, don't forget, I'm still waiting on you. So maybe we'll see you one day next week.
Come on, Tiffany.
So with that, I'm going to take us on out. Everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
God bless everybody. Happy Mother's Day. See you, Rob.
Look, mommy, community in action. What on my little sound of that? Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But on my little sound of that. Creative, affirming, and culture for me too. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Learning, exploring my history, you see. Look, mommy, a little sound of that. We confident, we practice and develop fluency. Look, daddy, a little sound of that. Families, they bonding, they representing me. Look, granny, a little sound of that. Look, I'm here, let us sound of that. Nice, I see, let us sound of that. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers and leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers and leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit. Look, mommy, community in action. Well, on my, let us sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, on my, let us sound of that. Creative, affirming, culture for me too. Look, granny, a little sound of that.
All right.
All right, Rodney, that was great.